ministers and permanent secretaries at the front bench, representing the various ministries and answering the questions that matter to us. Join the conversation. This is the front bench. Fellow countrymen and women, these are our ministers and permanent secretaries at the front bench, representing the various ministries and answering the questions that matter to us. Join the conversation. This is the front bench.
This is the front bench. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the front bench. My name is Jethro Kasaigi, and our focus tonight will be on the Health Service Commission. What have they done to enhance healthcare through the workforce and development, of course, oversight within Uganda? I do have the pleasure to host Dr. Henry Mwebesa, who is the chairman for the commission, as well as the secretary for the commission, Miss Katie Lamaro. We shall be understanding what they do as a commission, but of course, to us Ugandans, we need to understand better. Because during my introduction, I did tell you that they might be doing similar work with the Ministry of Health, but somehow, somewhere, they all play different roles. So we shall be understanding that from them. Doctor, good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for sparing time. First things first, Happy Heroes Day. Thank you for accepting to be our hero for the front bench. Who is your hero, by the way, Doctor, on a light note?
His Excellency the President.
Of Uganda.
Of Uganda.
Well, thank you. Doctor, straight to the point. Health Service Commission. Very many Ugandans do not know what you do. What is your mandate as the Health Service Commission? You're the chairman.
Thank you very much once again, Jethro. And I'm glad you clarified that issue, because sometimes people don't know the Health Service Commission. They think it is the same as Ministry of Health. So thank you for giving us this opportunity, because we really want to clarify what we are and what we do. The Health Service Commission is one of those recruitment or appointment commissions, just like the traditional Public Service Commission, because I know many people know about the Public Service Commission, which is responsible for recruitment of other civil servants. Now, the Health Service Commission is specifically responsible for recruitment of health workers, or people who work in the health sector. Just like the Education Service Commission for education and the Judicial Service Commission for the judiciary. So for us, we are primarily responsible for recruitment, promotion, appointments of health workers. And we are established by the Act of Parliament, by the Constitution, Act 169, where you have the chairperson, the deputy chairperson, and 5 members. But also, we also have the PS and the technical staff. So that constitutes the commission. What do we primarily do, mainly? I'll try to summarize in the interest of time. In the first place, and of course this is in line with our theme, we are talking about the health workforce, in line with the theme of today. We are responsible for recruitment of health workers. But then there are some health workers, like from heads of departments and above, commissioners, directors, executive directors, those are appointed by the president. So our role is to advise the president on the appointment, the appropriate appointment. Let's say if we are going to appoint a Director General of Health Services, so we interview such cadres, and then we recommend His Excellency the President. And the authority to appoint is really His Excellency the President, but ours is to recommend. But for cadres below heads of departments and the rest, we're primarily responsible for interviewing them and appointing them. We don't stop at that. There are also confirmations, because once you appoint people, there comes a time when you confirm them. Because you appoint them on probation, comes a time when you confirm them.
So who confirms it? Still the commission?
The commission still confirms all health workers.
Okay.
And then promotions. Again, when I've been a medical officer, maybe after 3 years I'm fit to be a senior medical officer, still they come back to the Health Service Commission for that kind of appointment when the position is available. So that is still also our responsibility. Now that's the good part. We also handle the difficult part. The difficult part of disciplinary action of those errant health workers who do not meet the requirements of the service. So they are brought to us for disciplinary action, including dismissal actually. And for those high level again, we recommend to the president to dismiss them, and those below heads of departments, we dismiss them after going through the due process, of course. In addition, we are supposed to review the terms and conditions of our health workers. Of recent, we have also even been guided by His Excellency the President to develop specific standing orders for health workers. The specific standing, there are standing orders, public service standing orders. But it has become necessary that we also develop specific standing orders for health workers. Because take for example, of course this is a long discussion, but let me summarize it like this. If I have a doctor who doesn't come to see his patients, who is always absent, and then I'm losing my mothers because Mwevesa doesn't come on time, Mwevesa doesn't come, Mwevesa is always absent. If I'm to go through the process of the traditional standing orders, by the time I dismiss Mwevesa, he will have killed about 5 or 10 mothers. So we want to revise the standing orders to make them more specific and more stringent for the purpose. We are dealing with life. It is different from the fact that somebody is dealing with, say, crops or something. Here you are dealing with life. So we want to revise our standing orders to make sure that they are more stringent and answer to the call of health for our people.
Doctor, before you go further, you've talked about recruitment. Maybe for me and the Ugandan out there who is watching first, whom do you report to? Because a Ugandan wants to understand, if Jethro is a graduate, I'm done with my senior 6, for example, or senior 4, I want now to join the health sector, the health system. Where do I start from? What is your role? Because it seems the Ministry of Health at some point has covered your works.
There is collaboration.
Okay.
Because the Health Service Commission is actually an independent commission reporting to Parliament. We don't even report to Ministry of Health. We report to Parliament, and we actually prepare annual reports to Parliament for all the work we do. Specifically, for instance, the Health Service Commission, the issues I've talked about, recruitment, promotion, and the like, mainly cover the Ministry of Health headquarters, the central level government really, Ministry of Health headquarters, National Referral Hospital, Regional Referral Hospitals, KCCA, Health Directorate, and the institutions of Ministry of Health at the center. Now for districts, there's the District Service Commission. Now with respect to health workers at the district level, they are all recruited by the District Service Commission. However, when they are recruiting high-level staff like heads of department, like a district health officer, or a medical superintendent of a hospital, a general hospital, then we are required to send their representative to sit on that District Service Commission to see whether the processes are being followed correctly.
So, Doctor, for issues of fake doctors, for example, the internees who want to join the workforce, and those other people that are really under you, that means within a particular district, are you saying that in case of any issue, they report to the District Service Commission, where you send representatives, and then reports are brought to your High Commission up there?
Yes. If the advert is for the districts, by the District Service Commission, then they attend the interviews at the District Service Commission, and our staff or our delegated representative participates and reports to us, presents a report to us, but especially to ensure that the right process has been followed to appoint that officer.
Doctor, before I cross to the PS, let's talk about your current top priorities for improving health services, because it is very important. We've understood your mandate of approving people, of recruiting people, and all the reports that you do to Parliament. So let us understand your top current priorities as far as the health services is concerned.
Sure. Our top priority now, as we have discussed as a commission, together with our technical staff, one is to make sure that we fill all the vacant positions that are available. You know, we have recently restructured the ministry and the local governments. So there are quite a number of existing positions. So our role is to make sure that we recruit health workers to fill those positions, at least for the wage bill which is there. So if, let's say, a hospital has a wage bill and they submit to us their positions, our role is to make sure that we fill those positions as soon as possible so that they do not go without staff for that financial year. Two, as I have told you, we need to finalize those standing orders, specifically mainly to address the issues of incompetencies and indiscipline. So we want as fast as possible to make sure that we finalize those specific standing orders for health workers. Of course, they have to go through a process which includes even approval by cabinet and the like. We also have an e-recruitment system, which I think we'll be discussing more in detail later. We want to functionalize it as much as possible. This has helped a lot. For instance, in the most recent recruitment, we had over 9,000 applicants, but none of them came to our office in the workers' house. Somebody sits in Karamoja and sends his application or her application, and we receive it as quickly as possible. But also, we have been another, of course, we can discuss that more in detail later. I'm trying to highlight the priorities in the short time that I have. Another very important point which we really want to discuss seriously, or which we are trying to address seriously, is the issue of corruption, charging for positions. Because this, I'm not saying that the Health Service Commission has been charging for positions. But, of course, a lot of but we know there are a lot of fake people around there. Actually, our location is even a big problem. In the middle of town. People see these girls, they know they are coming for positions, and there are so many conmen around there. So we want to make sure that somebody applies for a job, passes genuinely without paying even 5 shillings, or fails genuinely without paying any amount of money. We want to discourage the issue of paying for positions as much as possible, at least through the Health Service Commission. And we would want to emphasize this to the viewers. Please, if you see somebody calling you that is going to help you to get a job as a nursing officer, then you know either one, that person has got a tip that you have already got that job and he's just wanting to jump on the bandwagon to get your money for nothing. Or two, he's just trying to con you. So please do not pay for any job, do not pay any amount of money for any job. We really want to emphasize this, that no payment for any job through the Health Service Commission.
Okay, 0709602592 is our WhatsApp number. Kindly send in your questions, your comments regarding the topic that we are discussing tonight about the Health Service Commission and what they are doing as a commission to serve Ugandans better. PS, I do understand that you also play a very, very important role when it comes to contributing to the National Development Plan 4 goal. That is very important. But you as a commission, how are you aligning the strategies with the national or global health goals?
Thank you very much, Jethro, and good evening, viewers once again. Jethro, I want to inform you that alignment of our strategy to the NDP and the Sustainable Development Goals is an obligation. It's a requirement by government to align our goals with the National Development Goals and the Sustainable Development Goals. I want to thank the Chair for articulating our mandate very clearly. And really our mandate is to acquire the health workers for health service delivery. As a sector or as Health Service Commission, we belong to the Human Capital Development Program. And the goal of the Human Capital Development Program is to skill Ugandans and to provide for the health of Ugandans. Now I'll go to our alignment to the National Development Goal 4. The National Development Goal 4 is to increase household incomes. It is also to monetize the economy for economic growth and to employ Ugandans for socio-economic development. Now put emphasis on employing Ugandans for socio-economic development. That is our alignment, because we employ on behalf of government. Then I'll move now to the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goal that we belong to as Health Service Commission is goal number 3, which is to do with good health and well-being. Really, the goal is to provide a happy and healthy individual. And under the NDP goals, the focus is on universal health coverage and universal health access. Really, every Ugandan should access health, and every Ugandan should be able to find where these health facilities are within their vicinity. The other focus is really prioritizing physical health and lifestyles of Ugandans under the SDG. The other focus is also strengthening health systems under SDG. And when we talk about health systems, we are talking about human capital development, which is again our focus, the human skilling aspect and recruitment. The other is strengthening health, technology as a health system, and the other is strengthening infrastructure as the other health system. But our focus as a Health Service Commission is really strengthening the human capacity through training them. And that is the alignment, and that is what makes us relevant to the various goals, both at national and global. And I'm glad that we are relevant. Otherwise, we'll cease to be relevant to government if we are not relevant with regard to the global goals and the national goals. Thank you.
Yes, you talked about the obligation, but let's talk about as well about fulfillment. You're obliged to do something.
Yes.
But what about when it comes to the fulfillment bit of it? Have you fulfilled your mandate to Ugandans? It is very important, because as you're explaining, you also talked about training, human capacity building. But Ugandans are not appreciating what is being done by the health workers in those health centers.
Really, like I said, Jethro, our mandate is to recruit. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to training, our mandate as a commission is to grant study leave to enable the health workers acquire the training. But the training planning is a role of the ministry and also the role of the District Service Commission, the districts, when it comes to the function of training. Our role as a commission is to only grant them the study leave so that they can go and build their capacity and then return and be productive to the country.
Okay. PS, let's talk about socio-economic development. You talked about it as part of your mandate. Do you think the Commission has done enough to ensure that Ugandans really benefit from the efforts that you're putting in to ensure that people appreciate your works?
Yes, Jethro, according to our mandate, really, I think we have done our best within the resources that we have. And later on, we shall discuss our challenges, of course. But within the resources that we have, in the last financial year, we were able to recruit over 1,200 staff, health workers, into the health sector. And we were also able to make about 1,500 human resource for health decisions. And when I talk about human resource for health decisions, these are the decisions that come after we've recruited an officer. decisions like confirmation in service, decisions like granting study leave, like I say, to build their capacity, decisions like disciplining staff, decisions like dismissal. Yes, we've dismissed staff that are not performing, decisions like transfer in service or transfer within service. There are about 20 or so decisions that are related to human resource acquisition and management in the sector. And within the resources that we have, we've been able to do that much.
Okay. Well, I do have some questions that are really coming in right now. Allow me sample some of them because it is very important. We are serving Ugandans. Good evening. Thanks for the show. Which category of positions are recruited by the Commission? Are they doctors and nurses or others like accountants, administration, procurement, etc.? Let the chairman clarify. Chairman, I think this is yours. Kindly take it away.
Thank you very much. That's a very good question to clarify, especially. I had hinted on it, but that shows that I didn't
explain it properly. I've already said the Health Service Commission is covering the central level institutions. At the central level institutions, when we recruit, then we recruit for all the health workers. They are what we call the professional health workers and then the common cadres. If one is a professional health worker from doctor, nurse, allied health worker, all those are recruited by the Commission. When it comes to the common cadres, those are the who can serve in either ministry, like the accountant, the procurement officer, the economist. Those are recruited by Public Service Commission. We do not recruit those.
Okay, maybe let me take one or two before we go for that short break. My question is, does it not affect your responsibilities and services since the president appoints the other people also to monitor you? This is Nkada Juma Nsuvuga, Councillor to be Masaja Division. You had this question, Chair. Does it not affect, you talked about those that are appointed by the president. So the question is, don't you think those that are appointed by the president as well, doesn't it affect your work since there are people who are appointed to monitor what you do? I think that is his question.
Okay, can I answer?
Please do.
No, it doesn't affect our work because there are clear guidelines which are given to us or which you must follow and which do not involve any interference from either the president or political leader. As I said, the Commission is purely independent and we make decisions based on the guidelines or standard operating procedures for recruitment, confirmation and promotion.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me take a very short commercial break, but after I will return with your questions and comments, but of course I still do have the officials from the Health Service Commission. Don't go away.
This is the Front Bench.
The Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development will read the budget speech for the financial year 2025-2026 under the theme Full Monetization of Uganda's Economy through Commercial Agriculture, Industrialization, Expanding and Broadening Social Services, Digital Transformation and Market Access. Please listen to the budget speech on 12th June 2025 to know the budget priorities and the opportunities it presents. Our budget, our responsibility. This message is brought to you by the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and all the Budget Month partners.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, Welcome to Hotel La Conventional, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful Kids Water Park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda. This is the Front Bench.
This is the Front Bench, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for keeping it UBC. I still do have officials from the Health Service Commission. I do have the chairman of the commission together with the PS of the commission, chairman. Questions are very many, by the way, but we shall get some time and try to answer some of those. So kindly keep them coming. We shall get time to sample them. Chair, let's talk about the key policies that you have introduced so far recently to strengthen our health system as a commission.
Of course, now we are talking about health system.
Yes.
Of course, here we can't divorce from Ministry of Health. We are looking at the system encompassing the health sector. And there are quite many, but let me focus it mainly on human workforce, health workforce. The first and major one, I think, which really I need to talk about is that as a sector, we try as much as possible to strengthen health promotion and disease prevention. In that case, we reduce the burden of diseases that we could be facing as a country. And we've been working with community structures, the community resource persons, the VHTs, the CHUs. Of course, we don't recruit those as Health Service Commission, but our staff work very closely with those community structures who are strong at disease prevention and health promotion. And that has been a very, very strong strategy of the Ministry of Health. There are other interventions or policies and strategies which, as government and as Ministry of Health and as the Health Service Commission, like the salary enhancement. There's been a very big salary enhancement for our health workers. And we think that has a very big implication, especially on the attitude of our health workers and our reason to demand for better outputs from them. Because if government is paying you, has enhanced your salary almost 3 times, then what are you producing in return? So that also should affect how much we demand out of our health workers. We have developed new structures, like recently, the new regional referral hospitals, Yumbe, Kayunga, and in Entebbe not too far ago. Those are also increase on the health workforce because regional referral hospitals have a sizable amount of health workforce, which we have to recruit and post there. The schemes of service for the different cadres, like now we have graduate nurses, we have graduate radiographers, all those should give them opportunity for our nurses now to move higher. Previously they were only enrolled and then diploma level, but now we even have graduate nurses who are on the market. But, and more recently, government has developed new structures for staffing norms. For instance, you remember like at Health Center 4, we used to have a staffing level of 49 staff. Now we have almost 150 staff. A general hospital which used to have about 150 staff now is over 289 staff. A health center 3 which used to have 19 now has over 40 staff. So those are policies which, one, help to absorb our staff, but also help to reduce the workload on an individual staff, because you'll be able to recruit more staff and more staff will be available to provide services to our team.
Doctor, I do understand you have a lot, but let's talk about salary enhancement. You talked about staff enhancement, but at one point you said you collaborate with the ministry. Yes. But most of the health workers have their personal private health facilities, but they also have an obligation of serving Ugandans within the referral, the regional referral hospitals. What have you done as a commission to see that these health workers are talking about, government has given them money, but they're not doing their job?
Exactly. Exactly. You are right, Jethro. Those are the issues now when I talked about the standing orders. Those are some of the issues that we are putting in the standing orders. Because now you are being paid a good salary, but yet you are spending 75% of your time in your clinic. So what was the purpose of enhancement of salary? So we want now to make sure that we have paid our staff good money. People must be able to deliver, to see our patients, to see our communities. Because there are so many people out there who really want to come in. Like when you look at the health workers, the doctors, we have so many doctors who want to come in. So if you think your private clinic is good enough and you are earning good money, it's fine. So you exit the system and we recruit somebody to come in and work for the money we are paying.
Let me hope, Doctor, the standing orders you're bringing in place could be as tough as that has been so far brought up by the Minister of Works, the EPS system. Very tough on Ugandans, those who are not obeying the rules, the traffic rules.
Exactly.
PS, let's talk about innovation and technology. You did talk about it earlier. How much have you embraced it? Given the fact that the doctor is talking about salary enhancement, the staff enhancement, I mean, everything requires innovation and technology. How much have you embraced this within your commission?
Oh, thank you very much, Jethro. The chair hinted on it. We are implementing an e-recruitment system, and we shall be talking a little more later when we go into the quality and standards of our recruitment. We are recruiting, we are doing literally every process of recruitment online now. Our adverts are made online. Applicants apply online. They do not physically bring their hard copies or applications. We shortlist online. Our exams, aptitude tests and competence tests are also online. Actually, our aptitude tests, if you are subjected to them, you get your results there and then. You leave the room knowing how much you have got. So we have embraced technology, and we want to move even to the point where the interviews, because the only time we interface with our applicants is when they come for face-to-face interviews after going through all the other selection processes. We want to go to the stage where even the face-to-face interview is online. That somebody in Moroto does not have to come to Kampala. We can interview them online. The other innovation that we are introducing is e-documentation. We want to ensure that all our human resource for health decisions are documented and are online. You're able to retrieve them. You're able to refer to them online without having to look through all this paperwork. And then the other innovation that we started and we are trying to expand is the e-recruitment hubs. In all our regional referral hospitals, we have tried to put e-recruitment hubs where we put computers and staff who are able to help those people in the regions to apply online. So they don't have to come to Kampala or look for other avenues. They can freely come and are freely given an online service to apply for jobs. So we are embracing it, and we are seeing a future where we should be totally paperless, so that we cut on costs and recruitment time. So really that is the future.
Well, have you thought about the wizards that we have? Because people, as you're thinking of mechanisms, there are those that are also thinking, how do I bypass this technology system? That is something you also have to think about, PS. I don't know if it has come across your table.
Yes, we always think about that. And that is why we are always upgrading the system to counter those wizards and those emerging issues. But the future is technology and IT, so we cannot run away from those wizards and those hackers, but we have to progress in line with really the direction the world is going.
Okay, Doctor, our time is about, it's actually fast spent, but we still have a number of issues. Let's talk about how are you planning to address the shortage of health professionals? Because this is a call for many Ugandans. We've covered stories, we've done stories here from the different parts of the country, Masaka, Kagadi, Ijinja. Ugandans are saying they do not have health workers in the regional referral hospitals and also health centers.
Now, the issue of shortage is really apparent, because what we do now, we are trying to make sure that, for instance, we recruit health workers per particular area. For instance, we make advertisements for particular institutions, because there was a tendency for people doing interviews and you crowd in Kampala, you crowd in urban institutions. Now, if we are advertising for 10 doctors for Moroto, then you apply for 10 doctors for Moroto, for positions of 10 doctors for Moroto. We have even gone to the extent that when we give a minute extract, Mwevesa, you have been recruited as a medical officer for Moroto Hospital. Kate Lamaro, you have been recruited as a nurse for Yumbe Hospital. So in that case, we cater for especially the rural, less served areas. Sometimes we even do on-site recruitment. We even say, let's go to Moroto. We invite those who applied for Moroto, we interview them from there. So, and then we have also been supporting local governments, because the issue may be local government also. Some district service commissions may not have the required. So we go and support them to make sure that they recruit the staff that they need. But Jethro, one thing we really need to appreciate in this country is that following the enhancement of salaries, there is no issue of saying that people don't want to go to Amudat, people don't want to go to Kisoro. Actually, if you run an advert tomorrow for doctors in Amudat, you'll be overwhelmed. If you run an advert for Yumbe Koboko, you'll be overwhelmed, because we have enough staff.
Is it all about money?
But of course now the challenge is sometimes the wage bill is not adequate. Sometimes the available wage bill is not adequate for particular hospitals. But for the available wage bill, you'll run an advert, you'll be overwhelmed with applicants for any part of this country. We have even seen health workers who are coming back from projects implementing partners. They want to join government. So the issue of rural versus urban or unserved areas is no longer a very big issue today, especially with so many health workers who are on the market who have not yet been absorbed into public service. Yes.
Well, Doctor,
and also, another thing which I need also to emphasize is that government also has, as part of renovation works, has put there a lot of housing. There's been a lot of projects which have been doing housing for in health centers, in the hospitals, general hospitals, referral hospitals. So that also encourages our staff to go there, because they know they'll have accommodation. And also the renovation of health facilities. You know, some people want to work in a clean environment. So there has been a massive renovation of health facilities, upgrade of health center 2s to health center 4s. So all those are attracting health workers to go to those, especially the rural areas.
PS, before we talk about the quality contract recruitment, you are a Ugandan, you do visit these hospitals once in a while, you do have people you take to hospitals, to health centers. I mean, you're always there. Are you pleased with the services? Because now it's all about service. Because as a commission, you're doing your best. You have the policies in place. I mean, you're following the mandate that you have, but the service, that one thing that a Ugandan is supposed to benefit from the entire system that you're up to.
Thank you very much, Jethro. I really do not want to say much about the service, lest I step into another mandate. But I really want to say that...
no, but of course in line with the commission. In line with the commission, yes. Yes, because what you do, you have the paperwork.
Oh, yes.
Yes, but the people receive that thing that you really enact to ensure that Ugandans are meant to receive.
Thank you, Jethro. Really, our work as a commission is partly support supervision. And we really do go to these health facilities. And yes, there are gaps. And when we see these gaps, we draw them to the attention of the relevant stakeholder institutions for corrective action. So our role is really support supervision, really to inform decisions and really to help these institutions correct and improve some of these services.
Maybe Joseph, can I add something?
Please, please, please.
Of course, when you go to health facilities, there are places where you'll go and you'll come out very happy and satisfied. Yes. But there are also places where you'll go and you say, but what is this? What is that? Where is so-and-so? Where is Mwewesa? He's supposed to be on duty today. I see according to the duty roster, but he's not here. But to assure you, the bottom line is the leadership of the facility, the leadership of the district, the leadership of the hospital. Because if I'm a hospital director and Mwewesa hasn't been here for 3-4 days, and yet at the end of the day, I'm signing his check, what is my role there? So that's where we all need to come in. The heads of institutions, our cows in the districts, the RDCs, I hope they are listening to me, the chairman 5, because if you are in that district and you see Mwewesa, he's a doctor at a health center 4, but he's spending most of the time in his private clinic. And yet at the end of the month, you are signing his check. And these days, the check of a doctor is even 3 times the check of a cow. Why don't you feel guilty?
Actually,
yes.
Actually, Doctor, on that very point, someone has asked, thanks for the show, greetings to the doctors there. The new structure that Dr. Henry talked about is there, but it is not being implemented by most of the districts in Uganda. Districts are still implementing the old structure. Where is the problem?
Actually, the districts are implementing the new structures, but selectively.
Okay.
Because you see, the structure which we put in place, I want to be honest with everybody, cannot be filled in 1 or 2 years. That is a structure which is a long-term planning for maybe 2030. So with the budget that each district has, each hospital have, so you select the priority positions. Because now we have given you a bigger net. Previously, you would want maybe an anesthetist, but you don't have enough positions for him. Maybe you had 1, but maybe now I need 2. So the structure which is available now helps you to select, because each hospital, maybe what people need to know, each hospital, each district has its own wage bill, money for its staff. Okay. So with the money I have, say I'm covered the hospital, and now I have a structure here which has, let's say, regional referral hospital, have maybe 600 staff. But the money I have, of course, cannot recruit for me 600 staff. Maybe it recruits for me 30 staff. So I'm able to select who are the core health workers. And that is part of decentralization and management of the facility. Likewise, the district, the cow and the team should say, in this Chanamkaka Health Center, what do we need? Because we have been given a bigger basket to select from. But with the money I have, what do I prioritize for Chanamkaka? Okay. What do I prioritize for Kinono Health Center? So those structures are being implemented. You see, people think that that structure, you are supposed to feel all of it tomorrow. That's why they are saying it's not implemented.
Elias Nzavalinda, retired health worker, is actually appreciating. He has never heard of corruption in the Health Service Commission. And he says, bravo, keep it up. But why can't the government remove all district service commissions? Then he asks, Doctor, why can't we have health insurance like other countries? Is that in your docket, Doctor?
Yes.
Health insurance?
That's Ministry of Health, but I've just come from Ministry of Health. But I can discuss that at an appropriate time.
An appropriate time?
Yes.
Okay, that is okay. Someone else.
But discussions are going on about the health insurance.
That's fine. The fact is that we as Ugandans, what is happening in the health sector is that if someone has done a mistake, they intend to sack that person. But that's not the reason. Uganda government should wake up and pay the health workers very well. This is Chuma David from Karamoja. Okay, someone is appreciating. Thanks to chairman for updating the public. For I have confidence in you, but my question is that what would you do to some of the various district commissioners who are corrupt in provision of jobs? What do you do for those district commissioners about corruption? That is his question. PS, you can.
PS, you want to try?
I don't know.
Maybe I'll really say that there are mechanisms really for complaints and appeals. And where really somebody has evidence, they can provide this evidence and we can subject it to investigations.
Okay. Thanks for the show. I would like to inquire from the chair that politics has worsened everything in Uganda. What is the Commission's plan to fill in the position of heads of department, especially DHOs and ADHOs? I would request those positions to be done centrally. I beg to submit. This person is from Agago. Is that...
That discussion has been still going on for quite some time, but it has not yet been approved.
All right.
Because many people recommended that positions for DHOs should be centralized like CAWs were centralized public service.
Okay. One Rachel is asking, do you supervise the District Service Commission? How can someone work for 14 years without being promoted? In our district, Center 3 has 4 midwives. Is that the new structure? This is Rachel asking.
We guide and support district service commissions.
Okay.
Especially with respect to recruitment of health workers. We guide them, we give them guidelines, even for positions that they advertise. We give them the qualifications of those staff. Okay. And as I told you, when they are recruiting higher positions from U2, that's principal level, we always send a technical representative to sit on that commission and check that the process has been followed very well and that the person being recruited meets these qualifications.
Opolot Gerald, what
maybe Jethro, just
please,
to add to what Chair has said,
please.
We provide technical support and support supervision of the district service commissions. But when it comes to enforcement and holding them accountable, that function is for the Public Service Commission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is the commission planning with the number of nurses that produce twice a year, yet districts recruit 6 to 10 in a year, both certificate, diploma, and degree? This is Gerald from Lira. His question is really not clear.
It's not clear.
Surely. The commissioner claims that no payment is required. However, in districts like Chikube, opportunities seem to be given only to those who have paid. For instance, interviews were conducted last week, but it appeared that only those with 12 millions could participate. They seem to prioritize those who have made payments. This is Ambrose Wanyanga. Is that true, Doctor?
Of course, like PS has said, if people have evidence, I think it's better to bring it out.
Okay.
Cases are investigated.
How do they report all this?
And, yeah, maybe Chair, let me say something on that. I earlier said that there is a complaints and appeals mechanism. Okay. You can approach the commission. Or even the investigative bodies like the IGG. We have received communications from the IGG indicating that they have received reports of corruption, and we investigate those. So those that are aggrieved can really communicate to us.
Okay.
We are based at Workers' House, 3rd floor. You can physically come and report. We have received a number of complaints and which we subject to investigations. We also have a website, and maybe I will say that at the end, Jethro, maybe not now.
No, you can. It is important. Otherwise, you might miss it.
We also have a direct line through which you can communicate, 0414 254 378 or 0414 348501.
Maybe you can repeat those two numbers.
0414 25 4378, 0414 348501. We also have an email address, secretary@hsc.go.ug. You can communicate to us and we shall definitely respond and follow through these matters, or come physically to Workers' House, 3rd floor, on the really southern wing.
Okay.
Yeah, Workers' House, 3rd floor. We have our offices there. So feel free to communicate these, because really it is also in our interest to address the issues of corruption, issues of integrity, really, so that the public has confidence in the work that we do.
P.S., as we summarize, I do understand you have challenges as a commission as you endure to serve Ugandans, but let's also talk about how do you monitor the performance and ethics among the health workers, of course, amidst the challenges that you face as a commission.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jethro. Of course, performance management is mainly the role of the Ministry of Health, but we come in a little bit in support supervision. We conduct support supervision quarterly. We visit our health facilities. We visit the district and really sensitize them on their obligations. We sensitize them on issues of training, how to plan for training, how to manage performance. We sensitize them on the code of ethics. We have a code. We have a little booklet here which we use a lot in our support supervision exercises as we train our workers, which is a code of conduct and ethics, and key terms and conditions of service for health workers. And really they do appreciate. But where performance also falls short and is tending towards culpable behavior, of course we also come in as a commission to discipline. And we have disciplined and also dismissed due to shortfalls in performance. So that is where we come in performance. But I want to add that in disciplining staff, it should be demand-driven. The institution should submit to us with the evidence of the indiscipline, and then we can subject it to a fair disciplinary hearing before we take a decision. So really issues of performance management, we come in a very minimal way in those two ways, support supervision and then in enforcing disciplinary action where performance is not being handled well.
Okay, P.S., before I cross to Doctor, your last remarks, your last words to someone who is watching us right now, from your side, of course, because our time is really running out. Well,
my last remark, Jethro, is that recruitment is a collective action. It involves various stakeholders. If Ministry of Finance does not provide wage, we cannot recruit. If Ministry of Public Service does not provide the job requirements and job descriptions or provide clearances to entities to recruit, they cannot recruit. And therefore, those entities that we recruit for cannot submit to us to undertake the recruitment. So it is a collective action. If Ministry of Health does not do the health planning, then recruitment cannot happen as should. So it is a collective effort and all of us should work together. But the public should also come in by helping us support recruitment in reporting some of these issues that we are hearing here. But we are also glad to hear that the Commission is really not doing badly with regard to corruption tendencies. So we appreciate that, and we pledge to continue to serve Ugandans better and better every day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, P.S. Doctor, short and long-term plans that you have to transform healthcare delivery as we summarize in 2-3 minutes?
Good. Of course, filling vacant positions.
Okay.
Because we have been losing money being returned because we have not recruited the staff in time, being returned consolidated fund. We want to expedite that process so that each hospital we recruit the staff in time and we don't delay getting them on the payroll. The health worker standing orders is our immediate, one of our short-term plans that we need immediately. The e-recruitment, which the PS has emphasized, we really want to complete it to have a paperless environment. The issue of fighting corruption. Jethro, it is very irritating when an old peasant has sold her cows, has sold her goats to educate a girl as a nurse or as a doctor, and then to recruit her, you're asking for 10 million, 15 million. We really need to work out mechanisms of making sure that we stamp out that cancer, because it is dangerous, it is very bad for our system. Because if a girl has paid 15 million, 17 million to get that job, how sure are you that she will not charge my patients on the ward? She has to recover her money. So that cancer, we have to get a way of eradicating it.
Okay.
But in the long term, we also need to have our recruitment center, because as I told you, this place in Workers' House, you cannot even do the computer lab we talked about. We cannot do the aptitude tests. And then you are surrounded also by all these fake people from around town. So we need really a separate home where we can carry out our mandate very well.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. PS, questions that are still coming in. Someone, actually not only 1, 2 or 3 more people are actually pleading for you to repeat the office line that you read to them. They are saying you were really fast. I think they still have issues, but of course we can't tackle all of them from here in a few seconds. PS, kindly.
Oh, thank you very much, Jethro. The number is 0414-254378 or 0414-348501. You can also visit our website, www.healthservicecommission.hsc.go.ug. But the email address specifically to my office is secretary@hsc.go.ug. I hope we have got it.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Henry Mwebesa, Chairman, Health Service Commission. Thank you so much, PS, Ms. Katie Lamaro, for really sparing time. Ladies and gentlemen, the guests for tonight really accepted to be our heroes. We really have to appreciate them. But of course, I also do understand that you also still have a number of questions and comments, but at least the PS has read out the digits for the office lines. You can reach out to them and see how best you can be served in that capacity. From me and the entire team, the technical crew, the engineers, the camera persons, thank you so much for being around all the time. I am Jethro Kasaigi. This has been The Front Bench. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we'll always stand. Oh, you
fellow